What's going on, guys? So, recently I've not had very much time to play the game. As a result, in the times where I have had time to play the game, it's been like 10 minutes here, 30 minutes here, and then like 50 minutes here, 20 minutes here. You know, it's very sporadic. And I haven't been actually playing games as a result. What I've been doing is in preparation to start learning the jungle role so I can expand my coaching from top lane alone to top lane and jungle. I'm going to be trying to get master as jungle, and I've been practicing my clears. I'm going to be playing mostly Lee Sin, some Viego. I've been doing some Viego clears, but my Lee Sin clears are now incredibly fast. I have paces that are competing for world records, at least by what I can find on YouTube. So, for example, if you look here and you look for Lee Sin clear, what you'll see is a 315 red clear with 1 smite. I have a 315 red clear with 1 smite. You have a 308 blue clear with 2 smite. Well, I have a 310 blue clear with 1 smite. So I'm only 2 seconds slower saving a smite. Those are the main ones that I found. Those are the Zen Kia ones where that guy is very fast. He's often the guy, you know. So this is like old patch, and it's 312 red clear, but 2 smite. Mine's a 1 smite, 315. So, yeah. Here we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through the 3 clears that I'll be doing in my games. I don't, like, obviously I might be skipping camps at times based on, like, reactive stuff. But as for full clears, these are the 3 full clears that I would ever do. So I'll walk you through them and talk about all the little micro things that make them happen. So we're starting out with the blue clear. So this is a 310 1 smite full clear starting from blue. Okay, so what you're going to do when the buff spawns, you want to auto attack it twice without using any spells. This is a Q start clear. This is the only Q start clear of the 3. You're going to start Q and you're going to auto attack it twice. Why are we going to auto attack it twice without using any spells? It sounds really weird, but the reason is that whether you auto attack it twice now or at the end of the blue, you're going to have to auto attack it twice with no spell, with no attack speed from your passive, right? Because your spell's going to be on cooldown. So either way, you're going to have to do these 2 autos. Now, Lee Sin's Q has execute damage. So you want to do the 2 autos that you need to do at the start rather than the end to maximize your execute damage. Okay, so 1 auto, you smite, of course, to get the bonus damage from your execute. You smite early on this. And then you're going to Q, auto, auto. Q, auto, auto. Kiting the blue towards Gromp. And now you're just going to auto and kite it until your Q comes back up. And then you go to auto Q, auto, auto Q, auto. Start running the blue across. And as it leaves, you just turn around and punch it 1 more time. Then you're going to auto the Gromp. You're going to auto it again. And you're going to skill up your E off of the blue dying. And then you're going to E. And then you're going to auto, auto. And then you're going to E. And you're going to auto, auto. Q, auto, auto Q, auto, auto E, auto, auto. And then this is where it changes a bit. Here you're going to recast your E, but you're only going to do 1 auto attack. That's because you only need 1. So you do 1, you start kiting it. And you're just going to turn around and Q, auto, and it dies. Okay. Just a bit quicker getting to your wolves. Now, wolves are quite finicky. You're going to auto-E them, and watch the direction I kite here. I'm going to auto, auto-E, auto. And you see I've kited them. You would expect me to kite them this way, right? Because I want to go to my next camp. The problem with that is if you try to kite this way, the big wolf stands here with the little wolves here. And you can't get it round the corner. So what I do is I kite it this way, and then I kite it this way. And that makes it much smoother being able to kite. So if we look, auto-E, auto, kite down, auto, E, auto, auto, walk through so that I can land the Q. And now I'm going to start kiting. And now you see the big wolf, instead of having to walk like this through the wall, which doesn't work, the big wolf can just walk along here. Okay. Continuing on with just 2 autos and then an ability, 2 autos and then an ability. Okay, now, here. What we need to kill this here is 4 pet ticks and 1 auto. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start walking. Now your 2 will do, your pet will do 2 ticks every time. Okay, so I need 2 cycles of pet ticks and an auto attack. So what I'm going to do is walk and let my pet do both ticks. Okay. There we go, 2 ticks. Now I'm going to auto. If I autoed sooner, it would like override the pet, and it wouldn't do 2 more ticks. So you'll see I auto attack, and now I need 2 more ticks. 1, 2, there we go. Okay, we skill W, and you're going to Q, and you don't need your W here, so you can double W yourself for some sustain. You Q across, and then you're going to do 2 autos on the big one, E, 2 autos on the big one, E, 2 autos on the big one, W, 2 autos on the big one, and then you're going to immediately, with this Q that's coming off cooldown, you're going to throw that at red buff, and you're going to Q over, and you're going to auto, auto, W, 1 auto, and then you're going to E everything together. Boom. And then you're going to auto W, auto, auto E, auto, auto W. Now we're level 3. This is where the Q gets complicated. So what we want to start doing is maximizing the damage of our execute. You want to be using your Q and E on cooldown, of course, but we want to maximize this execute damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Q, auto, I'll probably do W, auto, auto, EQ. So I'm getting 3 autos and an E between my Qs to maximize the damage. So watch this. I'm going to do Q, auto Q, auto W, auto E, auto Q. Okay. So I got my 3 auto. The main thing is you want to get 3 autos and an E between your Qs. Auto E, auto, auto, W and 2 more autos. And then we're going to Q. Yeah, the Q's not up yet. You can Q this Krug from here. That's like the max range, just outside the bush. I'm in the bush anyway, so it's slightly closer. Q across, auto, auto E. Now what you need to do here to kill the Krugs is you need to E straight away so that your E comes back in time. Then you need to get 2 auto attacks onto this little one, making sure that you get the full duration of the red buff burn. Okay, so watch how I do that. I'll auto it now, and it's got red buff burn on it. And then I'll go back to my standard rotation onto this Krug. And then now that there's no red, I'll auto it again. And then these die at the same time, and then I E the little ones. And you can see that if I pause as they die, there you go, that's a 310 clear. And if you do it, frame by frame, it's definitely a 310. Okay, so there's a 310 blue start clear with 1 smite, and that's how it's done. Next up, we've got the red clear. Now, this is an E start clear, which is different. You'd think, oh, red's a single target camp, you'll start Q, and yes, I think that does make killing the red buff slightly quicker, but it slows down your Krugs, and I'll show you why. So, it's very simple. It's just alternating spells. You do auto E at the start, and then you just E auto auto, E auto auto, and then you auto between your E's. It's very simple. What you want to do here, you want to auto it, and then you want this to tick down to, you want it here, 151, okay? When it's 151, you're leaving, your pet's going to hit it down to 130, and then your pet's going to hit it down to 109. As it hits 109, you need to auto it again. But you need the pet to tick twice, right? You need it to go down to 109, auto, and then bam, bam. It's just a bit finickier with red, because with blue you can drag it into the Gromp and the pet can hit both. Here the pet needs to finish the red before it jumps to the Krugs. Otherwise the red won't die. So it's just that case of 151, let it tick to 109, auto, and then it will die. Then you level up your Q and instantly Q the big Krug. Auto, auto, Q the big Krug. Maximize that execute damage, get the damage in while you can. Now I'm going to auto the little Krug, I think. Yep, get that red buff burn ticking. Again, you need 2 auto attacks with full red buff burns. So I'm going to just keep kiting and cycling my spells with 2 autos. I'm going to put another red buff burn on the little Krug. Okay, and they die at the same time, and then you E all the little ones. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to queue this chicken. And I found it's quicker to, instead of dashing to them, which I was doing, it's quicker to let them come a little bit like that and now dash in. And then auto the big one and E instantly. Auto, auto, E, auto, auto, and now 2 more autos. 1, 2, and then now you can start leaving and you just want to E, auto, and that chicken will die. Okay. Now you walk across, and once you get to here, just past this little lip, you can Q the wolf. QQ, auto, auto, E, auto, auto, E, auto, auto, W, auto, auto, and then W auto, Q the blue, auto the wolf, Q the blue. Okay, and now you auto, auto W, auto E. Auto. It's the same thing as the chickens. It's that auto, auto, W, auto, E, and then now you, and then just like the blue clear, right? Now you're into maximizing this Q damage. So I'm going to Q, auto, W, auto, auto, E, Q. And then once it gets to 219, you just auto it and you leave. Again, maximizing the Q, 3 autos and an E between it. Kiting it. Q, auto, E. I just did EQ auto there at the end because I knew it would die. So this time I don't maximize the damage, I just do Q, auto, EQ, auto, and it dies. And it dies on 315. Okay, so that's the red clear. So these, if you just want to learn 2 clears, these are both fine. They were both like 310 and 315. You have a 20-second window to gank here before crab, and this one you have a 15-second window to gank before crab, and you still have smite for crab. So these are some really fast 1 smite clears, so if you practice those, it's really good. This is what I call a super clear. So what I'll do is I'll show you how it's done, and then I'll explain why it's good. And this is something I will be doing a lot. The only downside to this is it's quite predictable. Like, if you're doing this, you're doing this, and there's not much else, It doesn't leave much room for flexibility. Okay, so you start out with an auto E onto the big chicken. And you kite them down, and you just do 2 autos between each of your spells for your passive. And then you're just kiting with autos down to here. And then the next E, after that E, you just need 2 autos. You can reactivate E, but it doesn't actually make a difference. And then now we're going Krugs. Okay, so just before you go in this bush, you QQ, auto, auto, E, auto, auto, E. And again, we need 2 auto attacks, right? I like to do them when I don't have any spells because it's closer and it helps me kite further. So like now that I don't have any spells, I'm going to do my 2 autos, drag it down here, and then I'm going to auto Q, auto, auto Q, and then I'm going to E. All of those die, and now we're doing red. Okay, so Krugs and chickens are on cooldown. Okay, smite. What you want to do is you want to walk up, and you want to just smite the red buff early. This will drag the red into you a bit, so it's just slightly quicker, and then you're kiting it up, and you're just doing a standard 2 autos, spell, 2 autos, spell, 2 autos, spell, right? You're kiting that red buff up. Once you get here, when this next Q is coming up, you auto before it, but you don't auto after it. You just QQ, and then you start leaving, and then you just E it as it's walking into that bush, and you walk across. Now from here, the clear is the wolves are identical to the red clear that I showed. QQ, auto, auto, E, auto, auto, E, auto, auto, W, auto, auto, W, auto, auto. Now from here, we're going to Q the Gromp, auto. I guess I could auto the Gromp there, but it's fine. Maybe I could do that slightly quicker if I autoed the Gromp. Anyway, now we're just into our 3 spell rotation, so it's Q, auto, E, auto, Q. I actually don't need the other auto again because it will die to the burn. It would be too much damage if I maximized it, and it would die too slowly. Or I would be all the way over here. But on blue, I'm going to start doing the Q maximization again. There's just no point on Gromp because it's going to die to the pet burn. Auto, W, auto, and then we Q, auto, E, auto, auto Q, and we're just back into our spell rotation. So once you're level 3 on these single target camps, it is just making sure your Q does the most damage. Here, it's just dead to QEQ auto. There you go. And that's a 317. So why this super clear ends up with me 2 seconds slower than the red clear. So it's barely noticeable. I'm in the same place. I've cleared the same camps. So why do it? Well, what it means is that my raptors are respawning first, then my Krugs, and then after that it's my red, and then it goes my wolves and my Gromp. So what it means is that my next sequence of camps, raptors, Krugs, wolves, Gromp, there's a small delay between the 2 sides because I took red, right? But these are spawning quicker. So what I can do with this is I can look to gank now, then I can look for crab, and then I can come back into my bot side, do raptors into Krugs, and then I'm going to base and I'm going to buy Tiamat. Okay, so in the time it would have taken me to kill the red buff, you said the wolves aren't spawned yet on the second rotation because I would still be killing the red buff. Feel free to rewind this if you don't understand. So I come into my second rotation, I do my chickens, I do my Krugs, and then in the time where I did my red in the first one, I base and I get Tiamat and I walk out top, and then I will queue across onto my wolves, which will then spawn. I'll kill the wolves, I'll kill the grump, and then I'm here for grubs with Tiamat, and killing the grubs will get me level 6. So this is a super clear. So yes, that's what I'd use that for. I think it's very good. And yeah, that's a little micro breakdown of the 3 Lee Sin clears that I'll be using. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck practicing them. See ya.